Welcome to this bonus episode of Living Wow Out Loud. This initial bonus series is going to be a reading of the book, 8 Lessons Lupus Taught Me from Surviving to Thriving with Autoimmune Disease. I've chosen to include this as a bonus because it really is the foundation that led to Change Your Story. It then led to the website Rise to Shine, and eventually morphed into Living Wow as we know it today. And so, in order for those of you who may not be readers or have chosen the podcast platform, I want you to also have access to the book. And because I have all the rights to all my material, I'm able to upload it here for you as a bonus episode. So I'm going to break it into chapters to make it more digestible. And you will see, I will label all of these as bonus episodes, 8 Lessons Lupus Taught Me from Surviving to Thriving with Autoimmune Diseases, and then the chapter. So enjoy. I hope you get something of value out of these bonus episodes. Lesson 5, Empty Your Cup. This is actually a lesson that comes from Bruce Lee that my husband teaches in his martial arts. You empty your cup of knowledge so that you can take more in. If you are so sure that your way is the right way, or the only way, or that you are an expert and don't need to learn anymore, your cup is full and you're not able, or should I say willing, to learn more knowledge. I have found that this applies in 2 ways for me living with autoimmune disorders. First, I've learned to open my mind to many types of healing and to learn something from each of them. Second, I've learned that it's important to empty my cup daily, to touch base with my mind and my spirit so that I'm connecting my body and allowing new knowledge to fill my cup. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. I've heard that statement several times in my life, and it certainly is true, although, as with most of these lessons, I didn't realize it at the time. Just shortly after the now infamous 40th birthday and my newfound obsession with all things nutritional healing, I met another lady at the same women's health networking group. She had recently completed schooling for Amma Bodywork and was offering a complimentary massage to increase understanding of Amma Bodywork and to help grow her practice. Up to that point in my life, I had been to a few massages, but I was a novice to say the least. I remember that lying on my stomach was pretty much impossible at that time. It certainly was not comfortable. Immediately, Amma was different because she had me lie on my back, felt my radial pulses, and checked my tongue. This, of course, piqued my interest because I'm a speech therapist, so I know a little something about tongues. I did not know that you could tell how my organs were functioning and where my stress was piling up by assessing my tongue and pulses. Fascinating. She probably just wanted me to be quiet and experience the body work, but I was so intrigued with Amma that it was a constant barrage of questions the entire hour. I scheduled another appointment and another, soaking up the therapy that was amazing, as well as the traditional Chinese medicine philosophies that it comes from. For a period of about 3 years, I had Amma Bodywork regularly until she closed her practice to stay home with her children, and I eventually moved. What I learned during that time, during what I dubbed massage with a purpose, continues to fill my cup to this day. This is where I first learned about the meridians and qi. In my mind, Amma is similar to acupuncture as it uses points along the meridians to release pain, blocks, and dysfunction, although Amma Bodywork uses acupressure or massage. An acupuncturist can identify a problem and put a needle into a specific point to relieve the problem. Similarly, my Amma therapist would assess and determine what meridian was in most need and work on it. Fire cupping and stones were my favorite way to get rid of incredible knots. It is still incredible to me when I look back on that time and all that she moved out of my body. At that time, I did not have the understanding of my own body and systems to effectively move the toxicity that had been building up for years. Without really understanding it, I was on a toxic overload overhaul. I will be forever grateful for my empty cup that was continually filled as I changed my scientific, allopathic Western medicine, disease care, symptom treatment approach to a holistic medicine, health focus, cause prevention approach to my life and practice. You can probably guess that this opened up another voracious appetite for learning all that I could about alternative healing, beginning with traditional Chinese medicine, reflexology, the 12 meridians, and yoga. I was learning how all of this related to nutrition and nutritional healing as I was introduced to the impact of eating for the seasons, how food supports our organ function and vary according to the season. What has more recently grown in acceptance and popularity as eating what is in season and grown locally. As I look back on my initial Amma body work, it was critical as a preparatory phase to my understanding of my body. At that time, I only knew of the rheumatoid arthritis, and I certainly didn't consider it an autoimmune disorder. Allopathic or Western medicine didn't label it as such back then. It was classified a degenerative disease. My Amma therapist would assess my meridians and organ function. I was always low in spleen, lung, or liver. She would move out the toxins and strengthen those systems and teach me foods, herbs, and cooking techniques that would support my systems. I felt more and more amazing over time. This was the point I was at when I received the diagnosis of lupus and lichen planus. This was part of the reason I had faith in my body and my ability to heal if I could just give it the right environment to do so. I had some knowledge, but I did not have the tools to effectively finish what I started. So I continued. I know that it was a tender mercy of my Father in heaven to withhold my autoimmune diagnoses until I had found this knowledge. I truly believe that if I had received this diagnosis 3 years earlier, prior to my nutritional healing and holistic healing knowledge, I would have taken the medication and treatments prescribed by my trio of doctors. I would have resigned to the pain and misery, and I would likely not be alive today. I certainly would not be alive today. For a time, I actually left healthcare because it was so toxic. I just didn't have the tools or the understanding at the time to recognize what I was picking up and carrying around with me all the time. My systems were so blown out and depleted, it took years to rebuild them. I continued to empty and fill my cup, expanding my study to the chakras, which led me to the fascinating field of energy work. This was what I now recognize as the missing piece in my total transformation. I still don't have the skill that my Amma therapists have at being able to assess my system and address it relating to a specific point on a specific meridian, to a specific organ or muscle group. However, I do now understand the relationship of the energetic body to the physical body. Initially, I think part of my closed mind or fear of energy work came from the perception of mysticism. I come from a traditional Christian background with a strong belief in God the Father, His Son Jesus Christ, and the Holy Spirit. I pray to God through and in the name of Jesus Christ to thank Him for my blessings and to ask for blessings of strength and healing. Somehow connecting with energy on my own was maybe sacrilegious or blasphemous. Referring to universe was discounting my belief and recognition of God. Though this may be the case for some who do not believe in God and feel only a connection to the universe and mankind in general, I have found that it really has nothing to do with energy work. Quite the contrary. I have found that understanding my connection to my energetic self, my mind and spirit, have strengthened my personal connection with God. I feel so blessed that He has gifted this knowledge to me that I may use it and share it to improve my life and the life of those around me. I really grasp the concept of our energy system when I look to our Western medicine diagnostic testing that I'm personally familiar with, the EKG and the EEG, even the imaging diagnostics ultrasound, CT, MRI scans, and PET scans. None of these diagnostics are looking at microorganisms under a microscope or even looking at blood or serum samples. There's very little physical analysis done. What all of these tests use is energetic testing. They measure the heart or brain function, not by physically putting a port to your heart or brain, but rather through an electrode that measures your energetic function through physical manifestations. Similarly, the imaging tests are completed by holding an imaging sensor across the area of concern, or even more removed, having you lie in a machine, not even touching you, to have the imaging sensor read your energy and create a picture of your physical organ or area of concern. The kicker is that we do not yet have the technology to measure and read all of the different types of energies around us and in our bodies. Because of this, we are slow to recognize what we don't see or understand. At least I know I am. All you have to do is look at technology and the reality of today's cell phones. The amazing capabilities that are being realized sending complex documents, pictures, or movies out into the cloud that you can somehow put an address on and retrieve on demand in an instant from anywhere at any time. I now realize that not believing in an energetic system and its connectedness with everyone everywhere would be similar to thinking that the world is flat or living in a cave. It's primitive thinking. As my exposure to energy work expanded, I learned of tapping. It is an amazing technique that can be done by anyone, anywhere, at pretty much any time. Tapping was easy and familiar to me because of the foundational knowledge I had of the meridians. It was so effective at clearing energy blocks and toxins, I was blown away. The coolest thing was that it was a physical tool, much like Amma, that I could use myself, even with my limited understanding of the energetic system. I now have a plethora of effective techniques and tools that clean and clear my energetic system. I now understand that I pick up energies throughout my day, living life much like the oxidative stress that happens inside my physical body. Some of those energies are toxins from the energy pollution of technology all around us that overstimulates and confuses our personal energy fields. Much like the feedback you get when a mic is too close to the speaker or when you're losing range of a radio station or you have crossover frequencies because you're traveling between regions. Some of the energies are from people or circumstances I encounter throughout the day. Some of the energies have been passed on to me through my family, just like my physical characteristics are passed on through my DNA physical structure. Some of these energies are amazing, like love and peace. Others, like fear and pain, are not so welcome. Just like I wouldn't go weeks without a shower and eating nutritious food, I now wouldn't think of going weeks without energy clearing and thinking supportive thoughts. Lupus has taught me to empty my cup daily and to fill it daily. The lessons of this life are meant to be learned and applied so that we can progress into a fuller and more meaningful purpose and experience. If we get stuck in the past or focus on the future, we miss what really matters today. I've learned to be intentional in all that I do, but not a know-it-all or a control freak. I've learned to dream and aspire, but not wish and worry. Maybe most importantly, I've learned to be grateful for my past and learn from it, but not have regrets or redos. This lesson is still in progress. As I mentioned, I still have a great deal to learn and understand about the energetic part of my body, but I love it and I've learned to respect it and value the messages and interaction it has with my physical body. I am grateful now for my autoimmune diseases because they give me a physical warning that something is off with my energy. I now recognize the warning signs and do not have to be incapacitated to recognize that I am out of sync. Best of all, I now have the tools to be able to not only recognize it, but also manage it. For me, it is the best prevention I have to date. Hey, if you find value here on the Living Wow Out Loud podcast, will you please share it with your friends and take a minute to rate it on the platform that you're listening on? That's how we live wow out loud. You know that more people need hope and they need the messages shared. And that's how we get recognized among all the noise. This is where you find your voice. Will you please share and subscribe and rate so that we can grow? After my personal transformation from surviving to thriving with autoimmune diseases, I was completely astounded that the experience was not what I expected it to be. Instead of resenting my body and being forever trapped with a legacy of bad genes, as I had believed would be my fate, I looked and felt 20 years younger. I had dropped weight that had plagued me for decades, eliminated chronic pain that no doctor, therapy, or medicine could relieve, and found energy that I hadn't had since I was 16 years old. Because this is not what I expected, and because I wish someone would have told me that there is another way than sad, I wrote the book, 8 Lessons Lupus Taught Me from Surviving to Thriving with Autoimmune Diseases. As I began to share the book and the message of change your story, Living Well was born. After years of continuing to learn and study how and why lifestyle has such an impact on disease and the world being torn apart by a global pandemic, I can't stand by any longer keeping it to myself. You have to understand that the power is in your hands. The power is in your body. The power is in your lifestyle. The Living Wow Center is a holistic wellness practice that utilizes the framework of the Living Wow lifestyle to identify system failures or maintenance needs. Whether you just need a tune-up or a complete systems overhaul, we support you as an individual to get back out on the journey and living wow. We will work with you to determine levels of function, needs, tools, resources, and/or providers that may be best equipped to guide you as you step out of the negative health cycle and turn it into a positive health cycle. The Living Wow Center offers a revolutionary, comprehensive approach to healing, coaching, and support that is necessary in our complex, sad world. Schedule your complimentary consultation today to see how Living Wow can support you. I'm super excited to announce Supercharge for you. We are changing the name of the Living Wow Challenge to more clearly represent the monthly support program where you take Living Wow for a 10-day spin. I know 10 days doesn't seem like much, but it is, and that's why it's now Supercharge. Living Wow Supercharge is a 10-day supported focus on eating a clean, nutritionally dense diet with intention as you jumpstart into the Living Wow lifestyle. You will feel lighter, more energetic, and empowered with your nutrition. You will experience the power of nutritional healing with less pain, more energy, and a better mood. The Supercharge includes a comprehensive 10-day seasonal menu, recipes, videos, quick start guides, and links to resources. You begin with a prep, then daily support, and wrap up with a review. This is the fastest, most immersive way to get started and feel the effects of Living Wow now. Right now, go to livingwowcenter.com. That's livingwowcenter.com to sign up now for the next Supercharge running the 1st to the 10th of the month. Early sign up ensures you a spot and gives you time to complete your preparation assignments as you gear up to Supercharge. Wow, you just finished another episode of Living Wow Out Loud. I hope you leave today empowered to live your best life and thrive. If you're ready to jump in and learn a little bit more about Living Wow, come check out the Living Wow Center. That's livingwowcenter.com. And maybe consider joining our next Living Wow Challenge. We run the 1st to the 10th of every single month. See you soon.